Well, what is going on, guys, and welcome into the video. So with all the fear, the doom and gloom, all the noise in the media on YouTube, and with everyone predicting everything from a depression to a global meltdown, I thought I would bring you some investing facts or truths that I personally have used to make an absolute fortune during the Great Recession. And I can tell you this much, if I had used these during the dot-com bubble, I would have made a fortune then too, but I didn't, and I did exactly what many of you guys out there are doing right now during all this mess, and I lost big time, and I want you to avoid that because it was so painful, and I don't want any of you guys to ever have to experience that. These are truths from someone who lived it and forged them through my very own experience and from studying guys like Warren Buffett and Peter Lynch who have seen these same truths play out over 100 years combined experience in investing. So no BS, just the truth, and I just asked in exchange for you to gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do if you like the truth without the hype. Now, I put a ton of time into this and honestly tried to make it entertaining, so make sure you lock in your Black Friday pricing as the sale is ending tomorrow, so check this out, guys. So truth number one is you don't need to time anything to make a fortune in this recession. Trying to time the market is impossible, so ignore anything that is related to that at all. Just completely ignore it. Every single one of the greatest investors ever, I mean every single one of them, says you cannot do it, but yet the media and YouTubers seem to tell their audiences they can do it all the time. A few will get lucky and be right, most will be wrong, and some will make 492 predictions, so they're eventually going to be right as well, I guess. But you just need to ignore that noise. Nobody can do it. For me personally, I have not timed a single bottom on any crash ever, and this is my fourth crash. I think the closest I got was like 20% or something like that on a single stock, and we will see how this one goes. But the point is, I haven't gotten close, and it hasn't mattered one bit to making a fortune. A few $1,000s in some cases has turned into millions without ever timing anything remotely perfect. But the narrative from the media and from YouTubers, from everyone basically, is that they can in fact time the market and know exactly where it's going with absolute certainty, using this chart and this graph and this Gucci Porsche, take a dump on Tuesday line or whatever the heck is out there. Which leads us perfectly into truth number two, which is to not listen to the media and many YouTubers out there, period. Just completely ignore it. The media will scream during a recession about this fear or that fear because fear sells. And there are some YouTubers, not all, but there are some, who may take their cues from the media to make content because fear sells as well, just like making predictions does, as they get more clicks, engagement, and it honestly helps their channel. How many media pundits and YouTubers out there are making predictions day after day after day? I don't know, it seems like a lot though. And if they were right just 60% of the time, they would be the richest investors alive. And since none of them are that, which means they fall more in line with the average, which is far less than 50%. Sure, they are eventually right, but so is a dead clock twice a day. So a dead clock is actually right more than these market timers and people making predictions all day, every day. So if the people or the news or whoever you are getting information from is making predictions after predictions and telling you what is coming next for individual stocks or the stock market in general, you might want to reconsider where you are getting your information from. And let me give you a personal example from my own experience. There was no YouTube back then, but during the tech bubble and its aftermath, I listened to the experts on TV and read the Wall Street Journal, and they all said buy tech at all-time highs. The internet is the future and so is tech. And then when great stocks were on ridiculous discount after that bubble popped, they said avoid them and run away, and the internet was just a fad and nobody was going to do anything online. And unfortunately, I listened and missed the Apple bottom during that time by 40%, even though I thought there was huge opportunity there because essentially the media or the smart folks who knew more than me told me something different and I believed them. But the reality was they were just talking about what the prevailing narratives were and what got the most eyeballs, and it had nothing to do with what the future actually was, which companies were going to lead into that future, and what the actual reality of those companies and their business models were. Which dovetails perfectly into truth number 3, and that is you will be stupid in the short term to everyone out there, but genius in the long run. Even after not buying close to the low for Apple and missing it by 40% because I listened to the media in the first place, I did some work, I learned about valuations and analyzing companies and felt strongly about it, so I finally bought Apple. And I was called stupid by everyone I knew.
Why would you buy that? I mean, tech is dead. The internet is a fad, and who wants to own anything Apple related anyways? They're just a trash company.
Fast forward all these years later, where a few $1,000s invested back then is worth millions today, and now some of those same people call me a genius. And the same stupid to genius narrative happened during the financial crisis, and it applied in real estate as well during that same time frame. I was stupid until I wasn't. And this concept actually works in reverse too. I was stupid in 2007 to not buy stocks and especially not to buy real estate. And I'm glad I was stupid. Same thing played out right here on YouTube last year when I was stupid for not buying penny stocks and poop coins. And again, I was glad I was stupid. And now many are calling me stupid for investing during this downturn as well. And I guess time will tell, but I feel I'm off to the kind of start that I want to be off to. So truth number 4 is you don't need a ton of money to get rich. You just need to be consistent. Needing lots of money to make lots of money is a complete fallacy. Now, sure, it's helpful, but it's not necessary. Just consistently putting a few $100s into an index fund every month for your working years almost guarantees you will be a millionaire by the time you retire. But not investing at all is the only way to guarantee you will never be able to retire or have $1 million. And you can tell me that's not true, but I mean, the math doesn't lie, guys. Put it into a return calculator and see for yourself exactly how a few $100s each month put in during your work years makes you a millionaire. Don't argue with me, argue with math. And on to the final truth, and that would be waiting for confirmation that the economy will get better is actually a losing strategy. But it is the most often talked about, and guess what? You are trying to time the market if you were thinking that way, just like everyone else. So let me illustrate this with an example. The bottom of the financial crisis was March of 2019. But the media and everyone was still talking about how bad the recession was and how you shouldn't be investing until 2011, maybe into 2012, before finally coming around that the economy was safe and it was time to invest again because you got confirmation. You missed out on some incredible years of investing in the stock market and those returns by waiting on that. The stock market always moves well ahead of a recession, and then by the time the recession has been confirmed over, the stock market is already in the middle of the next bull run. These are the 5 truths I used to make a fortune in the last recession, and I will use in the upcoming recession to hopefully make another one. And if you want to join me during this crash and recession as we navigate it, and you want to have me and our group of 6 and 7 figure investors helping you through it all, and having access to all the education you need to plan, do evaluation, build a money loop, live for free, and many other wealth building strategies, make sure you take advantage of the Black Friday sale that ends this weekend for the Market Insiders private group. Remember to check out the pinned comment down below to become a member and at least look at everything you get. And click this video here for the stocks I'm still buying in this market, and click here for exactly what I'm doing to make huge money in this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.